Black woman, black hips, black kiss, black lips, afro with a black pig. Love when you talk that blackish. Black man, black fist,
Vokal Dialect, like, comment, subscribe.
Vokal Dialect podcast. Like, comment, and subscribe.
Vokal Dialect podcast. Like, comment, subscribe.
Black schools, black scholars, black doctors, black designers, black garments, black stage, black performance, black panel, black audience, black mothers, black fathers, black sons, black daughters, black love, black honor. You black today, you gonna be black tomorrow. Black woman, black hips.
What's happening? Instagram just coming at y'all real quick to promote Sun Goddess Sense. The Queen Shelly Set. That's our IG page, is Sun Goddess Sense. And this right here is the shea butter called Kush. Man, I'm telling you, this scent is amazing. It's a masculine scent. I love it. The texture is good. It feels good on my body. I just put some on. You feel what I'm saying? So y'all make sure y'all go visit Sun Goddess Sense on IG. Shelly Set, man. Appreciate it.
Hey, why the door locked? What you doing in there?
I'm putting on, hold on, baby. I'm just putting on some stuff.
Are you wearing that Kush shea butter?
Yeah, I just put it on, baby. I mean,
Oh my God, are you wearing it?
yeah.
Open the door. Just open.
Baby, wait a minute. Let me do the.
Oh my God, I love this Kush shea butter.
Wait a minute, baby. Hold on.
It smells so good. You have no idea what's about to go on. Give me all them clothes.
Wait a minute, baby.
No,
Chill
I'm not
out.
waiting no minute. What? We got the day off too. Give me your shirt first.
Okay.
Ooh, I love this scent. Ooh, you coming out all them clothes.
Oh
Give me
my
the
God.
socks. The
My
socks
socks?
is next. Ooh, and the last but not least, them drawers.
Baby, my drawers?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. Thank you, Shelly.
I want to hear motherfuckers talking about getting big, lifting these motherfucking weights, niggas doing these motherfucking fighters, martial arts training, doing gun shooting training. We got niggas scared to talk about it. These motherfuckers got heat up the motherfucking ass.
Brrr, stickle, ha, 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 stickle. Brrr, stickle, ha, 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 stickle. When you see a cracker, stickle, ha, 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 stickle. When you see a devil, stickle, ha, 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 stickle.
I'm coming down, gripping wood, smoking purple, feeling good. About to kill me a peck of wood. Call me a nigga, I wish you would. I used to bang on niggas, now I aim for rednecks. Them hoes ain't scared of us, cause them hoes ain't bled yet. I'm loaded and locked, we on the block. RBG, we rapping pop. Marcus Garvey, Dr. Ben, can't forget John Henry Clark. What will it take for niggas to stand up? Slap your child, rape your wife. Then when you man up, get on their ass, treat them like trash, taking their cash, ain't no love. The time is now, the clock is ticking. Crunch time, no cotton picking. The plot thickens, I'm militant crippin'. In this world, we sister pimpin'. Black man and woman united, ain't no time for competition. We growing our food, we on the move. Teaching our babies no public schools. Learning out my opera, no time wasted on fake Jews. Join the fight, ain't nothing to lose. Pick up your tools and spread the news. No more mercy on white folks. Blow they ass up out they shoes.
Brrr, stickle, ha, 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 stickle. Brrr, stickle, ha, 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 stickle. When you see a cracker, stickle, ha, 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 stickle. When you see a devil, stickle, ha, 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 stickle.
And spit it just like it's supposed to be spit. Not with all that sugar-coated shit and all that fake shit these niggas talking about. I'm talking about some cheese, straight cheese, nigga. To get out in these streets and snatch these young niggas out,
Okay,
man.
I seen it out with my third album, how these crackers lie, but I'll keep it true. Whole team rep RBG, Nat Turner be the music crew. Staying true is just what we do, disrespect us when we ride. Revolutionary but gangster, violate we get violent, so don't disrespect my race. Get slapped the fuck in your face, no more black on black crimes. I'm prejudiced with this case, spread 100 rounds of these Caucasians, they say I'm crazy but real. Man, I'm comfortable out in the field, don't wanna know how house nigga live, that's just how it is. I'm always on go. You don't know that, you don't know dough. You don't know dough if you don't know that, and you ain't my kind, cause we represent black. Kick them back with you know about knowledge. Spread and talk about it cause you know you ain't got it. Yeah, I'm about it. Every word that I preach comes straight from the streets. You don't get this in college. Really ain't about it, you should go and fall back. We ain't gonna stop to the White House black. Grab my gat, semi-automatic AR, try to run them, shooting up your car. You know who we are, RPG. Hit me, I ain't gonna turn the other cheek. I'ma squeeze out 3 from the 223. Hit your ass up, then worry about the police. Go.
Stickle, ha, 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 stickle. Stickle, ha, 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 stickle. When you see a cracker, stickle, ha, 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 stickle. When you see the devil, stickle, ha, 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 stickle.
So I'd like to say what they told us. Every one of our leaders told us it would be a physical war. Malcolm, Marcus, Clark, Dr. Ben, any one of you say these not true, you're goddamn.
Nat Turner music.
Like we didn't hear this shit.
A lot of revolutionaries talk a lot. Not a lot of niggas really walk a lot. Instead of seeing homies in the hood called a lie, I'd rather see them outlining wood and chalk a lot. Real Africans don't call the cops. Where I'm from, why they don't call the shots? R&G working on all the blocks. Make a move and you lose, watch them all drive. Never shed a tear for a red nigga. Love to see them sicking on dead reds. House nigga like, is he dead, Jed? Still nigga like, is he dead, Jed? Fuck that fam, that's my attitude. Sometimes how the truth just have a dude. I know the shit rude, I'ma have a move. Cause y'all show old fake too much gratitude. Hang us from a tree and have a photo shoot. Put your hands up and he for sure gon' shoot. But y'all don't want no truth. When I catch one slipping, I'ma do this shit cleaner than a photo booth. You scared nigga, man up, we at war. They want you dead nigga, stand up, we at war. They covering the land up with cement floors. Take their hands off your eyes, can't you see this yours? Raise another generation scared of whites. Kill a nigga quick but scared to fight. Like you're innocent, fuck a Edomite. Sign a bill at the funeral, dead to right. How many niggas got killed in your dead today? A lot of good niggas trapped in the feds today. Look back, a lot of ancestors fled today. Gotta stick 'em black, Nat Turner led the way. Now
Stickle, ha, 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 stickle. Stickle, ha, 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 stickle. When you see a cracker, stickle, ha, 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 stickle. When you see a devil, stickle, ha, 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 stickle.
Get what you can get, nigga. Lock and load, train, get big, nigga. Study your physical body, study your spirituality. Build it up for warfare. So whatever you build, you can defend it. If you're not gonna motherfucking defend it, why even build it? Defend it. Because at any point in time, the white man see it as a threat to his supremacy on this globe. He gonna come see your ass. You look all over Africa, they fighting. So if our people's at home is fighting, we should be fighting. Goddamn it, they fighting in Somalia, they fighting in Swaziland, they fighting in fucking Zimbabwe, they fighting in fucking Egypt, they fighting all over the fucking continent. And as soon as we talk about revolution...
And I titled this one, Ideological Subversion, Propaganda, and Mind Control. And the reason I talked about that, because a lot of times we get mad at our people, right? Especially black people, or the black community, African community, however you want to identify yourself. Even that right there is a part of what I'm about to talk about. But a lot of times we mad at our people, right? And we say, yo, I just don't know what's wrong with our people. I don't know what's wrong with our people. I don't know what's wrong with our people. You know, our people are always last. Our people are always last. All we do is argue with each other. All black folks do is argue with each other. Every other race can help each other. Blah, 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 blah. You know, we all heard that, or we've all said that at one point of time in our journey, or some of us continue to say it. But what I want to do in a short period of time is try to give you a couple of pointers and pieces to how you can better yet understand what's going on. And if you don't really understand this science right here, that's just what it is. You never will understand. You're always going to kind of be enraged, and you're always going to see your people in a certain light, right? And this one comes from Soviet propagandist named Yuri, Y-U-R-I, Bezmenov, B-E-Z-M-I-N-O-V. And what he talked about was two things, but I'm only going to cover one right now. He talked about ideological subversion, and he talked about a demoralization and a demoralized people and nation, right? But right now, I'm just going to cover this one thing in this short time. And he gave, and you guys should check out the interview that he had. He talked about ideological subversion. His definition said slow process to change the process of reality of every American. Change perception in spite of the abundance of information. No one is able to come to a sensible conclusion in the interest of defending themselves, their families, community, or country. So, right, okay, now I'm going to go back and talk about the slow process to change the process of every American. And I always talk about this right here. You know, we have such an identity crisis. And I think, you know, and I ain't gonna say I think, I know that even these battles we're in these identity crises, whether you have people over here that say, hey, I'm Aboriginal. I've been here. I'm FBA, Tariq Nasheed told me so. And the reason I try to point out to people like Albert Bandura, I sing these names over and over and over and over. Because if you don't really understand these names, you never will understand how we are in this position, right? So to understand that they say change the process, change the reality of every American. And when you are in this North American or in this American paradigm, your brain is shifted to think no matter who you think you are, how much you think on your own. Until you understand certain things, your thoughts are not your thoughts. Man, it's kind of a hard thing to swallow, but you'll see more why once you research and dig for yourself into what I'm saying, which is why I bring up things like the Tavistock Institute and this book right here. Pick this book up, Propaganda by Edward Bernays. The public mind in the making. The public mind in the making. Right? So what is the thing about this person, Edward Bernays? He is considered the godfather of propaganda. So when you're getting him on top of Albert Bandura, on top of what even Yuri Bezmenov is sharing right here that I'm about to talk about, you begin to see so many things of our differences, right? But you have to really get it. The second part that they say, change perception in spite of the abundance of information, kind of like cognitive dissonance. No matter what you show a person, they still see what they see. No one is able to come to sensible conclusions in the interest of defending themselves, their family, community, and country. And when we come in and we say, man, black folks can't come together and do nothing. Black folks can't even agree on the simplest thing. Black folks can't do this. You know how it is? We have to look into the context of this, because even though they're talking to every American, right? They're talking to every person that's in North America that consider themselves whatever, but really the ones that's in the United States that consider themselves Americans. And this is why. I want to read something real quick. And it doesn't, you know what, the crazy part with a lot of this information, it doesn't even take long to get into their agenda. Okay. Yeah, we're going to go straight to the first page of Edward Bernays'. And this chapter is called Organizing Chaos, right? Organizing Chaos. It says, the conclusions and intelligent manipulation of the organized habits and opinions of the masses is an important element in democratic society. Those who manipulate this unseen mechanism of society constitute an invisible government, which is the true ruling power of our country. We are governed. Our minds are molded. Our tastes are formed. Our ideas suggested, largely by men we have never heard of. This is a logical result of the way in which our democratic society is organized. Vast numbers of human beings must cooperate in this manner if they are to live together as a smoothly functioning society. And I just want to read that one and lay out the blueprint. As he goes deeper into chapters, he get more into. He's just telling you right there why propaganda is necessary, just in that thing. But he goes more into that chapter to tell you why it is necessary. So when we say, and we know the great Nana Amos Wilson also said that we are ruled by our taste, our desires. So which is why the programming of a people is so much through TV, through the music. So when we're looking and we're seeing, like I've been talking about for the last couple of days, how the media works, right? How the media works. What's funny is yesterday was, shout out to Don Staley, hometown Raven Johnson, and those South Carolina Lady Gamecocks. And not only beating Caitlin Clark in Iowa, but completing an undefeated season. So this is up here with Gino Auriemma in women's basketball. This is Don Staley. But we've seen some coverage, but it wasn't like the media storm with Caitlin Clark, right? Because this is how, when we're saying why they put like when, what was the brother name that played for the Ravens, that Ray Rice, was his name Ray Rice? Correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. That got caught in a domestic violence situation with his girl, and they plastered him all over the TV. Okay, so when y'all seeing, most of y'all are reacting and saying, why is Diddy plastered all over the TV? Why do they show us in this light and they won't show the dude Snyder, Dan Snyder from Nickelodeon? Why won't they show them? Why won't they show their people in the light? This is why. Because also in controlling this narrative, and also how you see, I'll get into the demoralization in another video. But right here, in order for you to have your outlook towards your people, right, you have to buy into those images. You have to, in order for you to be upset, you have to think the worst of your people. You have to accept those images to think the worst of your people, right? You have to buy into, we are the most ignorant. Females have to buy into, ain't no good men. Dudes have to buy into, ain't no good women. Because that's how they're controlling through the propaganda. That's how they are controlling when they show us certain images, right? So when we're looking on TikTok, because all of these are different components of areas of people activity, right? And in the people in the 9 areas, even though there's another one, but shout out to not shout out, but respect to Mama Frances Cress Wilson and Neely Fuller Jr. for coming up with these 9 areas of people activity, of everyday activity: economics, entertainment, education, law, labor, politics, sex, war, and I feel like I'm missing another one. Sex, war, and I feel like I'm missing another one. And if it comes to me, it's gonna pop in my head. But anyway, you know those areas. And the perfectionist in me is trying to get it. But anyway, each one of those ways, they navigate how we see each other in each one of those. Okay, because I like to play connect the dots, right? So how is education and economics connected? How is sex and war connected? Labor. How are we controlled through our labor, right? So when we're looking at these things and we're saying, why they always post us like that? Because they have the power to. Racism is the power to define. Racism is not me saying stuff about Caitlin Clark. Racism has nothing to do with you not liking others. And that's the technology they play on you. I remember I was watching an old movie, and they would do it. I think about propaganda and mind control in movies like Zebrahead. Zebrahead is an old 80s, 90s movie. And this one has Michael Rappaport in it, who I just really don't like. But this is always how they get you to see yourself, right? And this is like some integrated relationship type stuff, right? This is some interracial dating. And notice how in a lot of these movies, whether it's Guess Who with Bernie Mac and Ashton Kutcher, the last one with Eddie Murphy and Lauren London and that fat slug Jonah Hill. And notice how they always paint us for having our views as closed-minded. They always paint us as like the in these type of movies to where they have to get you to accept the integration, the coming along. Oh, the black man or the black mother, they just have to get over themselves. They just have to, black people are just as racist as white people. Black people, you got to understand, and this is what I hear from Negroes. Black people, you do it too. You could be just as racist. No. Name in comments, name ways how we can stop them. Name ways how we give out jobs. We may own a couple of things, but they're able to stop. They shut the entire country down. Let that sink in your mind through COVID. They shut the entire country down. What were we able to do? No matter how powerful any of these celebrities was, they was in the house on lockdown too, huh? So we looking at real stuff, the power to shape your mind. The power to shape how you look at your brother and sister versus how you look at white people. This is why most people that are subdued in their thoughts, they think the highest of white people. This is why you see Shannon Sharp when he's on the first thing when Cam Newton gets into that fight. The first thing Shannon says, it's always us. It's always us. We say black on black violence while in the middle of two Westerners war. Right? America is always at war or at odds with another country, or another country is supposedly at war with America. But we see that as necessary, right? You see that as necessary. You see that as American. You see going to Afghanistan, going to Iraq, or going to wherever the hell else they go to bomb innocent women and children. You see that as American because that is what have been imprinted in your mind. This is why we thank the soldiers for their work. Now, no disrespect to those soldiers, because guess what? Their mind has been played with too. They've been given an assignment. Right? Go back and look at movies like The Manchurian Candidate. I like the updated one with Denzel Washington. Now, this is bona fide MK Ultra. You hear me talk about MK Ultra. This is bona fide MK Ultra. Right? So they show you these things in these movies, and we say, oh, that's just sci-fi. Oh, that's just a movie. But in the beginning of this, he tells you, just in that one section that I read, that you are governed by an invisible government. That they shape your taste, your desires. Ba-da-da-da-da. You know the rest of it. You know, that's why they give you slogans. That's why they give you theme songs. That's why they give you all of these things. We are controlled through our music. So when we're seeing the making of Lil Nas X, when we're seeing this level of drill rap, right? when we seeing that our youth has been used against us, use that word again, there's those Manchurian candidates, when our youth has been just turned into killing machines against each other. When you have a so-called conscious community, wherever that is, and you got all of these hypotenuse and the light code and the beings, when it comes down, it radiates into your skin. And they can sit up here and they can tell you all the sickness. They can tell you how to heal yourself. They can tell you more stuff than the doctors. But why is it we can't come together? When we always say, what's the mantra that we've been singing? I'm 42. So at least for a good 20-something years, I've been hearing, we just need to come together, right? Why can't we come together? Back to why? Because what did ideological subversion say? Ideological subversion, according to Yuri Bezmenov, that's what I'm talking about. Yuri, Yuri-Bezmenov. What is ideological subversion? The slow process to change the process of reality of every American, not just your Aboriginals. Change perception. In spite of the abundance of information, no one is able to come to a sensible conclusions in the interest of defending themselves, their families, community, and country. You can't find, you simply put, you can't, we can't come up with a solution of how to feed ourselves. But you can run over here and get this quick little job. You can go to this army and get you a nice little, because those are welcoming hubs for you to be subdued. I'm going to keep using that word, subdued. Am I making sense? Hit in the comments at any time when you come across this video on what part I didn't make sense on. Because see, this is my thing. We get all of these, we have to get out of this conscious unconscious movement of just following people, right? We just following people. They don't really give you no real source. They don't really give you no real information. They just keep giving you regurgitated stuff and taking up money, charging you to come listen to them. Now get your paper. But are we getting things done? Are we moving things forward? Or are we just becoming, I don't even want to say pulpit preachers. I can't, prosperity preachers? Yeah. So when we wondering why we can't get nothing done, because go back to, I'm always giving you who Albert Bandura. And here's when he's talking about how they shifted the mind using soap operas. What did he say? The model. So imagine the model mixed in with what Bezmenov is talking about, on top of what Bernays is talking about. Get this book. Get this book. Get this book. Read for yourself. Stop listening to what you Mar say. What you say? What you think about it? See, that's another component of the dumbing down of the people. Always giving you this quote unquote representative, this misleader, Farrakhan. Giving you this misleader that looks like they got it going. No, they're going to come out. Whenever it comes out, whenever it's time for him to come out and talk good, he's going to come out and give a fiery speech. But he's controlled opposition. It just is what it is. Y'all can feel how y'all feel, but just look. Come out of that worship gene that we have. We always looking for somebody to preach to us, not share information. We always looking for that symbol of hope. But through your taste, through your desires, on every level, the macro and the micro. This is why certain fashions are looked at as bigger than other ones. This is why Balenciaga, despite what Kanye told y'all, and y'all learned about Balenciaga, this is why Shedeur Sanders will go ball out in Balenciaga. Because he don't understand this science. It's not his fault. It's not to go beat up on them. And through the model, they gave you models to aspire to. That's why really, in my opinion, whose opinion? My opinion. That's why really we only aspire to drug dealers, athletes, entertainers, personalities, right? So when we're looking at certain things, I kind of want to get into demoralization, but I'll get into the demoralization another time. But right here is what we're talking about, Edward Bernays, and that came actually out of the Tavistock Institute. So when we're looking at this whole LGBT game of what they got going on, that's again, all of this is part of it too. All of this is part of the propaganda and the imagery too, right? Because, and go look for yourself. Go look for yourselves. These detransitioning videos. They're not telling you about these LGBT trannies that wants to go back to their original sex. I was watching one the other night, and what it's funny. I'm not gonna say it's not funny. It's straight up funny because you can see the mental illness, right? But they're able to control the what? The narrative. They're able to define. This is real power. It's not Jay-Z doing what he's doing over there at Rockefeller. It ain't LeBron James walking around crowning himself. That's buffoonery. What did Kanye tell y'all? They can control Shaq. They can control Charles Barkley. They can control Beyonce. They can control Jay-Z. They can control LeBron James. He named y'all heroes. Controlled opposition. They are the models that are created to keep us stagnant. So this is why we can't even get back into no one is able to come to a sensible conclusion. This is why we can't even come to a sensible conclusion on if R. Kelly even deserves jail time. Is it okay? Why are they talking about Diddy like this? They ain't talking about that because guess what? In that coming to a sensible conclusion is solutions in the Black community. It's dealing with your own. But we get caught up into this what? This cognitive dissonance. What did he say again? The slow progress to change the process of reality of every American. Change perception. In spite of the abundance of information, no one is able to come to a sensible conclusion in the interest of defending themselves. That means defending your children from this pedo stuff. Defending themselves, their family, their communities, or their countries. I ain't African. I come from Louisiana. My grandmama them told me don't get you. You might be. But the fact that it has been allowed to turn to Bloods versus Crips, right? We can't come to a sensible conclusion to what to do about Black misleadership. We can't come to a sensible conclusion what to do about domestic violence in our communities. We don't want to talk about it. Because the moment Diddy and the moment all them predators, we go to start talking about some white predator. And I'm not saying that shouldn't be dealt with. But what I'm saying is, if we don't have the power to deal with our own, why are we even looking over there? If you can't take care of home, why are you gonna go buy another house? Or why are you looking at your neighbor saying, well, my neighbor ain't this? Focus on solving ours. I don't care nothing about Jerry Lee Lewis. I don't care nothing about Woody Allen. That's theirs. But we can't never come to a conclusion because I keep seeing the craziest deflecting memes. Why y'all talking about Diddy? They ain't tell y'all about these black paintings of Jesus. If you read a book, you would have known that. That's not new. While they talking about Diddy, nobody said nothing about Dan Snyder. Go back and look at the Quiet on the Set movie. You can never solve issues being tit for tat or looking in somebody else's backyard. What are we gonna do about the ones that's because if they are look, check this out. And what did Bandura say? The who? The model. If they are the model to how you aspire to getting money, if you are a sick pervert, they're also the model to how you can do these things and get away with it. But we want to turn our head because we say, oh, that's celebrity. We got bigger things to worry about. Like what? Okay, if we get into homosexuality, we got bigger things to talk about. If we want to talk about protecting our children from all of this stuff, which they use Dwayne Wade's son for, and that young man ain't happy. If we want to be able to tell that, they constantly control what is okay to talk about and what is not to talk about. You've been hijacked. You can't even really talk about the LGBT. Or they're going to hit you with what? You're homophobic. Now they got transphobic. So they got all these phobias, but when black people get stuff done to them, that ain't black phobic. I don't know if that's a word, but no, they mess with your head. This is why the disrespect of George Floyd is allowed. But y'all only point to Candace Owens when she do it. When Charleston White does it, oh, I'm telling the truth because your thoughts have been subdued. Again, in order for you to hate your people, you have to accept the narrative of the worst things about them. So when Charleston White is coming out and he's preaching and he's on his fake high horse and he's talking about the most basic things. Yeah. Children don't know how to read on they level, their grade level. Yeah, most children. And y'all sit here and listen to this dude like he really dropping bombs. Juwanza Kunjufu been talking about that. The conspiracy to destroy black boys. But we are intellectually lazy. This is why we want YouTube videos. This is why you want to hear noise like Charleston White. Because he sounds like and then this is the narrative that y'all accept. Well, he got tired of dealing with his people. So you turn like that? The model. Be careful who you follow. The model. So what he set presence of is when you are tired, when you have been working for so long, you've been trying to get these people the message and they ain't listen to you, act the ass on them and turn your back. Y'all say he still do work. Look at him as the example of what he says. The ultimate contradiction. Can you say schizo? Can you say bipolar? Who are we following? Mentally, spiritually, and morally dead people. First thing we say is, I ain't perfect. Nobody said nothing about perfection. That's another thing, in my opinion. Whose opinion? My opinion. That we have to get rid of. That I ain't perfect keeps you in a box too. Because you don't have to be perfect to be mindful. It ain't about no perfection. That stuff you say to continue to do what you want to do. So understand, and I hope I was able to break down and give you of what ideological subversion means. And it's just a little drop. I'm just coming with that. And like I said, I really wanted to get into something else, but I know that's going to turn this to an hour, almost 2-hour video. But when we thinking why we can't get nothing done, What's wrong with us? Why can't we? Because all we've ever seen was infighting. Yeah, guess what? Every race infights. White folks infight all the time. But guess what? They know that they hold the so-called power. So in them fighting, the ball is always in their hand. So they can fight it because guess what? They have a common goal. It's racism, white supremacy. And no matter how you feel when you hear me say that, it doesn't mean it don't exist. We see it every day. We saw it with Caitlin Clark versus Angel Reese. We see it when boys like Emmanuel Ocho gets up there and says the things he says. You want to piss a crew off? Say you stand with black women. Or say you only. This is why, my last point, this is why when certain black men get in the media and say they only date their own. What is followed up after that? When they say that, what is followed up? Oh, that don't mean I don't like all women, but me. There's always this explanation why you love self. Why you love your reflection. Who gives a shit if Tom Hanks dates his own? Tom Brady doesn't have to get up there and say, I only love my women. And even if he did, it wouldn't be no biggie, but they don't have to say it. Because they are the model of beauty. Who determines the most beautiful man alive, the most beautiful woman alive? Who determines the shape of beauty from femininity? It's always some slim, skinny white girl. Every now and then they'll throw one of ours in there. Every now and then they'll make a Michael B. Jordan the most handsome guy. They'll use that every now and then. But most of the time, we spend our time looking at Eurocentric or Western images as the higher or the thing to aspire to. Because it's about power. It's about representation. We talk about representation all the time. And then again, here go another one. When you speak on Ice Cube, putting money behind Caitlin Clark, here comes the destroying of Angel Reese. Well, Angel Reese game ain't that good. Since when? Her and Carmela Cardosa, those girls can play some ball. But they don't fit the image of white America's standard, which is why it was so comfortable for them folks up there at the LA Times to write that article the way they did. And none of these sports outlets caught it. Because they were so busy being good sportsmen and just talking about sports. That the reason Angel Reese felt like that is because what she was labeled. Emmanuel Ocho said, you took on the villain. No, she didn't. They called her the villain after she did that, and she simply embraced it. It wasn't going to stop. Her stock was ruined once she did that. But again, the propaganda and the mind control is to totally ignore the fact that Caitlin Clark did it. That Caitlin Clark waved off Raven Johnson, who got her revenge last night. She waved her off like she was nothing. Waved her off for South Carolina. Go back and look. Waved her off like she wasn't even on the court. But that was her fire, the power to define. You can call Angel Reese a villain, and handkerchief head Negroes and you mental homosexual dudes gonna jump and say, well, she sexually objectified herself. Well, look at her. But then when somebody got on y'all boy Shay Shay for wearing his little hot pants and his little tight pants, what did y'all do? Well, like I said in my last video, he had 2 hip surgeries. That's why he walked like that. No, that ain't the way he strut. That ain't the reason he strut like Lady Marmalade. But there were so many people that came to his defense and left Angel Reese out there to dry. Last point. I know I just said the other one was the last point. But this one is really the last point this time. Speaking of that Quiet on the Set documentary, and I want all of y'all that keep putting that Dan Snyder thing up to watch that. Stop just putting stuff out to blindly defend. You don't know what you're talking about. What was crazy, and this is something that I want to get into, and I'm going to probably do a whole independent session about this. What makes people defend the pedophile? I ain't going to say no name because I don't want to trigger human emotion and human feelings. But what makes people get behind pedophiles? Now, in watching the dude from Drake and Josh, Drake Bell, oh man, he was just doing something nasty. He was doing something dirty. And he said something interesting, and because they premiered the last, I want to say that's probably the last episode last night, but it was just kind of like independent conversations, and they were really asking him what made him get into this. Why did he choose now to speak about it? And he gave his answers, but the part that he said that stuck out to me, he said that when it was time to go to court, that the numbers of people that were defending over there, the pedophile had so much support. I'm talking about there were people, and the dude from, I think he played Eric in Boy Meets World, Will Friedle, and Ryder Strong. You know, Ryder Strong played Corey's best friend, Sean. Now, they wrote letters of recommendations or letters of support. What makes the mind jump behind them? I'm gonna leave that thought. What makes the mind jump behind a pedophile? He said, and Will Friedle said something to the nature of, I realized I was on the wrong side. You think? But what was crazy in what Drake Bell said was, I think he said it was only him, his brother, and his mother. Now that's some comparison. Since y'all always want to compare Hugh Hefner to this, to that, compare the support. Compare the apologies. Compare the mentality of like that tired, dusty mantra that our people say. They always pull a black man down. They're always trying to pull a black. Every time a black man, well, this is about this. They only took him down because of this. I don't care. They took him down because he did the Tootsie Roll wrong. The fact is, he got brought down. But what is it? Keeping in mind that no one is able to come to a sensible conclusion. What is it? What is in there that you're not able to come to a clear thought on something as serious as that? Or that you even lend the support and defense to a person that's even accused of that. So when you see these ignorant models like Lil Boosie screaming on Vlad, talking about that was consensual with R. Kelly, that was consensual. When you see all of them talking about where's P. Diddy friends, listen to these people when they talking. Some of them are just confused, but some of them is just as sick as them folks. And that doesn't mean because those folks over there are not dealing with theirs that we shouldn't deal with ours. We want equality on the wrong things. Why? So I'm going to leave you with that because I got another 20 in me, but I don't want to make these videos too long. But I hope y'all was able to learn something. I hope it made sense. If it doesn't, my inbox is open as long as you come correct. If you have more information to share and add on, because where we come in is talking like we the end all be all. No, this is about shared information. We have to undo this stuff that was done to where we feel like we the smartest ones. I put my piece with what you got, and then somebody else got it. That's learning unity. But most people will dismiss my information because even though I read you white sources, because a white person didn't say it, because I don't have enough followers. This is one of these old fat crackers got in my comment and talking about he see why I only have 108 subscribers. Told you. And again, this showed you it was about the skin color and the sex. Because in the video, nobody addressed anything that I was reading. None of the people that put negative comment in my comment section addressed anything but what Angel Reese did. They don't have nothing. That was she sealed her fate, like I said. But think about what I just said, and I'm up out of here. Peace.
Black woman, black hips, black kiss, black lips, Afro.